explore new energy. New energy is here. We have talked about it at length in our previous Shouds. It is here. It's an energy that was created outside of home. It was created by you. Its physics and its characteristics are distinctly different than the old vibrational energy you have been working with. It's not to say that we're going to completely eliminate vibrational energy in your life. Not at all. We're going to start integrating this thing called new energy. Quite frankly, not I, Adamus, not Tobias, not any of the ascended masters truly understand how it works. We have theories, we have ideas, especially those of us who have had more recent lifetimes here on earth. We have some general ideas of how it's going to work in your life. We're going to work with you to understand how to bring new energy in. At times, perhaps it could be challenging, confusing, because one thing we do know about new energy, it doesn't set up patterns of itself like old energy. Old energy gets into a type of rut. It tends to repeat itself over and over and over until some large outside force or stimulus pushes it out of its old pattern. That's what many of you have been going through for the last few years of your life, trying to get out of that old pattern of old energy. So you have to take some infusion coming in, created by you, but an infusion of energy to create an incident in your life, sometimes traumatic, usually traumatic, to get you out of that old pattern of old energy. New energy works quite different, and we're not sure how. Basically, you've agreed to be part of this discovery. You've agreed to be the next level of pioneer on Earth, to understand how to bring it in and what it does. You've agreed to be here to allow this new energy that you created, by the way. What's yours? It doesn't come from, it's not a gift from God like the old vibrational energy. That was Spirit's gift to you. This is your gift to yourself. It doesn't set up the same patterns. It doesn't respond the same way each time it's applied. It is potent. Whereas sometimes we know you got very frustrated with old energy. It seemed weak at times. You tried to gather more and more old energy in. You had to store old energy in the way of things like money or power or other things like that. You had to build a warehouse of old energy because sometimes it worked very slowly. It was very labored. Part of your impatience or anxiety recently has been there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a different way of doing this, and there is, and that's why you're here. That's why I'm here. We're going to explore the ways to bring it in, because right now it exists in and around you, in an area somewhere close to your human energy field, but it really hasn't penetrated fully. Part of it's because the timing hasn't been right. You've been so absorbed in a lot of your issues and your processing that it hasn't been appropriate for it to come in. It would have blown a lot of circuits. You've dabbled in it a bit. We've all dabbled in it together in our nightly forays into the other dimensions. You put your finger on it just so slightly and then tasted just a bit of it. But now we're going to be bringing it into our lives. One of the very important things that this group called Shambra is going to be doing is allowing it to come in for your personal experience. And I'll ask you right now, mention to you right now, this is nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear in new energy. Sometimes there is in old vibrational energy because it contains elements of darkness, of fear, of your history, of your challenges. So sometimes you see that a wave of old energy coming into your life, and you do get a bit anxious about it because it does contain a lot of old stuff, memories, energy patterns. So obviously you'd be a little bit anxious about it coming in. New energy is in its pure state right now. It is in a very simple state of being. It's ready to come in. Where it's going to be tricky for you, even for us, is that its response and its patterns are totally different, and its potency is quite unknown.